It's your girl, it's your girl, Leilana Bell. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys for reaching out, calling, checking on me and my family. These past 24 to 48 hours has been very traumatic. You guys have messaged me, inboxed me, asked me to give an update on the DUI suspect. So here it is. I have posted it in the thumbnails, thumbprints of the chat. It is the suspect's fourth DUI, 1, 2, 3, 4 DUI. He has since been released out on bond. Someone has posted his bond. He was charged with the DUI, which is a felony, property damage, personal injury, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, and then careless driving, which is a ticket, possession of not more than 20 grams of marijuana, which is a misdemeanor, possession with intent to use drug paraphernalia. I'm not sure what that charge entails, but that is also a misdemeanor. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 misdemeanors and 1 felony. Total bond was very low, which was $25,000. So $2,500 is 10%, which is what is required. And most bail bonds will take half of the $2,500. So basically $1,250 up front, and then you will pay the other $1,250, $200 a week, $100 a week, or whatever agreements that you guys, that they have with the bail bondman. Age 66. Has been arrested for 4 DUIs and also boating under the influence. So what that says to me is everything you drive, you're under the influence. Your car, you're under the influence. You're boating under the influence. You're walking under the influence. And that is all perfectly fine. What's not fine is that you put other lives at stake. And those lives happen to be my family. So I will be covering that story from top to bottom, in and out, and bringing updates. For everybody who inboxed me personally, who knows me outside of YouTube, thank you. For the support, for everybody who inboxed me with a Cash App, thank you. It definitely will help support my family go through the trauma, even if it's just comfort for buying a meal, or comfort for a pillow or blanket, just comfort so that we can get through this traumatic. It's traumatic. It's traumatic right now because injuries are involved, and they're not minor injuries. And so I have to protect the confidentiality of my family. So there are certain things that I won't say on the live. And again, we have people who I don't necessarily want watching and hearing. So there are certain things that I will say in private to you guys when you guys reach out to me. And I just want to say thank you for the support. I can't thank you enough. DUI is just something that I've never dealt with, never been a victim of, never been a person who drives under the influence. I would always let someone else drive because I think it's very careless of you to put your life and other lives at stake because a decision that you made, and now people are injured and their lives will never be the same. And let's face it, when you're talking about medical bills and rehab, that's fine. That's your physical body, but your mental state will never be the same, because now you have people who are now scared to drive because, oh my God, am I going to get hit by another drunk driver under the influence? And always, guys, I also realize that it's not just alcohol, it's marijuana, it's the pharmaceutical pills that you may have a prescription for, but you're still under the influence because you shouldn't be driving. And because you have a marijuana card doesn't mean you should be driving, because you're under the influence of a substance, which means you can't make rational decisions. You're putting people's lives in danger. If you care nothing about your life, that's fine. But you do not have the audacity or the authority to ruin someone else's life, to ruin their course of life. They didn't anticipate being hit. They didn't anticipate missing 6 to 8 weeks of work. They didn't anticipate having to be laid up and propped up and healing. This is not something they asked for. They're victims of your decision to drive under the influence. So it's not just alcohol. It's the weed that you smoked before, that pill that you popped, whether you had a prescription or not. That's all a substance that's changing what you do, how you think, and your movement. Because you decided to misuse a substance and get behind the wheel. If you want to misuse the substance, do it in the confinement of your own home. So you can't injure anybody. So you can't kill anybody in a head-on collision and ruin families' lives and upset them off of what they're doing. And now they need a caregiver. They need someone to assist them because of a decision you made. And you get to bond out and go on about your hunky-dory life because you weren't injured. And what about the injuries that are permanent, the mental, the emotional, the psychological part of it? Guys, we have to make better choices. We have to do better. I'm going to bring you guys updates as I know them. Stay posted. Thank you for your comments. Like, share, and subscribe. It's your girl, Leilani Bell. And I want to say I never take for granted this platform that I have been given to make sure that I speak positive and I bring you guys facts. And I will never post something that I have not verified, investigated, or was not on the scene facts. So all of the video you saw from that night, all of the pictures, I was on the scene. I literally ran out to the scene. I got an emergency phone call from my family that said a witness witnessed the accident and please get to the scene immediately. There's blood everywhere. People are screaming. And here it is. The suspect is cool, calm, and collect. And it's actually, from what we were told from the witnesses, called a friend to the scene to try to pass his keys to the friend as if he wasn't driving before JSO, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, arrived. Their story was going to be that he wasn't driving, that the friend was driving. However, again, I won't say the witnesses' names. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for not letting him get away with this crime. How dare you and your friend try to do this to my family? We want justice. We're going to be at every court date, every hearing, every whatever. Each and every time this guy has gotten a slap on the wrist, probation, pay a fine. This is your 4th DUI. You've been boating under the influence twice. How many more times will you have to be arrested? How many more times will you affect lives? You crashed the boat under the influence. How much more property damage will you do before someone in the Florida judicial system decides to do something and hold him accountable and not just get, don't you do that no more. Their lives at stake. You've ruined lives. You've ruined people's emotional, mental state. You disrupted their life. How dare you? Yes, let me go ahead and answer some of the things. Thank you for the comments. I'm looking. I'm going to answer some now. Rainy season rants. Is your family okay? Who was hit? Yes, my family is okay. The suspect, the drunk driver, ran into my family. So because of confidentiality, obviously I'm not going to say my family's names and all of those things, but it was my family. And so I don't mind being out in the open, but I don't want my family's names out in the open because they're victims of this terrible, terrible suspect who's had 4 DUIs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boating while under the influence. Twice. 1, 2. So that's 6 incidents where you have been under some form of substance and could have killed somebody. Yes, Rainey, 4 DUIs. This is the 4th. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, he got a slap on the wrist. Probation, pay a fine. We'll take your license for 6 months. But that's okay because I can drive my girlfriend's car. I can drive my friend's car. You know how they do. That's a slap on the wrist. That's not punishment. I don't know where we go from here. I am just trying to be there supportively and heal and help my family in any way I can. And if that means using this as a platform, then that's what I will do. Rainey, yes, it is illegal. He's been arrested 4 times for driving under the influence, 2 times for boating under the influence. So you drive in the boat intoxicated. You can't be sober at all. Somehow, the judicial system, the Florida law, the state attorney, to whomever it be, missed that this person has a substance abuse problem and should never be driving anything. Probably shouldn't even be walking because they can't even probably walk without being under some form of substance or influence. In the video, you guys see that I recorded the, I guess, sobriety test or whatever it's called that the JSO was giving him. As I was on the scene, I did get much of the video and pictures as I could. Please understand it was very emotional. You can see me breaking down, crying in one of the videos because it's different to cover a story when I don't know the parties. When I'm just being objective, I don't know the parties. But now I have to cover when one of the victims is my family. What substance? Alcohol. Yes. Charged with being under influence with alcohol. And then he had 20 possession of not more than 20 grams of marijuana, use or possession intent to use drug paraphernalia. I'm not sure what that one is, but I know the under 20 grams of marijuana that was found in his truck. I saw the detective remove that and put it in their little evidence bag or whatever. So I did see that. So again, were you under the influence of alcohol and marijuana? I would lean towards yes. Yes, my family has been injured. There are surgeries that need to take place. So I would estimate the recovery time would be 4 to 6 months for being in a perfect world. 6 months, depending on surgery, rehab, how soon they can do these things. Rainey, thank you for that dialogue. Thank you for being concerned. I will send your thoughts and concerns to my family, and they're watching. I would say 4 to 6 months. Yes, this is terrible. But this is what happens when you make decisions and you only think about yourself. You don't think about how driving high affects everybody else, how driving drunk affects everybody else, how popping that pill affects everybody else. You don't think about it because you don't care. The suspect is 66. His criminal background goes back to the 80s of driving under the influence. This is a known issue. But now my question is, state of Florida, how did you allow this to happen? Is it not your job to keep the citizens safe? Is it not your job to protect other drivers on the road when you see there's a pattern? How do I know the suspect's name? I was on the scene, love. Police reports are public records. Anytime you're a victim, you're entitled to that information. So there's no secrets. Again, being arrested is public records. And again, I was on the scene. I did not leave until the tow trucks arrived and he was in handcuffs. I made sure I did not leave until he was in handcuffs. My other family members were at the trauma hospital with my family. So I went there next. Yes, love. It's all public. If you go to the bathroom in Florida, it's public records, unfortunately. Florida has one of the widest public records, which I disagree with. I don't think people should be able to pull your personal business. And that is why stalking is so high, because stalkers pull public records. This is how they find you, how they follow you around, how they psycho email and text your family members, how they psycho email and text other individuals, how they psycho email previous addresses, because everything you do is public records. Yes, look up that statue. It's everything you do is everything that you do is public. There's no confidentiality. I know that law enforcement, judges, prosecutors, they have some form of privacy, but even their stuff has to be public because they're a public servant. They can shield some information, but again, you dig deep enough, you find it. Why? Because we all have Google on our phones, and when you have that psycho crazy person that has nothing but time on their hand to pull public records and whatever records they like, then there you go. So of course, car accidents, traffic accidents are public because you have to share insurance information. You have to reach out to the other party's insurance. So yeah, that's public. He went to jail on the scene. So yeah, I got a police report. I got a crash report. I got the reports to follow the case. Of course, I've got his first, last name and looked up his history and said, look at there. 4 DUIs. 1, 2, 3, 4. I agree. Bathroom records are way too much. But in the state of Florida, there is a open public records. They don't shield it. I was even told by one of my subscribers that I believe it was AT&T now has the right to listen in on your calls. I don't know if that is true or not. I have not verified it. I am only repeating hearsay from one of my subscribers. I will verify that. I'm not going to call him out, but I did post it. The suspect's name will not be said on this channel. He is not name worthy. He gets no praise for driving under the influence and hurting my family. But his picture is posted, the police report is posted, and the inmate information, the docket is posted. So yes, it's posted. I'm just not going to verbally give him any acknowledgement on my channel. 66 years old. And he can probably go on with his life with no injuries and get another slap on the wrist from the state of Florida. We plan to take this all the way to the door. We're going to be at every court date. We're going to be at every hearing. I'm going to have my good eye on him like a hawk. Yes, ma'am. 4 are traffic and car DUIs, and 2 are boat under the influence, which totals 6. 66 years old with 6 DUIs. Yeah. I don't know. So now the healing process starts. And it's one day at a time. And as I told my family, if it's not one day, it's 1 hour. If it's not 1 hour, it's 1 minute. Let's see how we can get through the next minute. Whether that's praying together, whether that's just listening to the other one cry and just being there to console them and to say, it's okay. When really, is it okay? No, it's not. It's not okay that this jerk has gotten away with this. I would guess whoever monitors the boatways, I'm not sure what they're called, but yes, there are officers that ride up and down when you're boating. I don't know what they're called. But yes, as you know, we're surrounded by water everywhere. So it's not too shocking that you're boating up under the influence. You'd be surprised how many people just throw down a 12 pack and get behind the wheel of a boat. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen the boats dock. I've seen them at the bar loaded. And they get in the boat and they drive. And you have some idiots who think, oh, it's not a car. Well, you still could kill somebody or yourself or cause damage to someone else's boat because you're drunk and because you went too far to the left. Oops. And you cause property damage. So, I mean, he was charged with it. So apparently, yes, boating under the influence is a crime. I would assume so. Why? Because you shouldn't be behind any wheel, boat, car, train, plane under the influence because there are lives at stake. Afraid of the water with the sharks and jellyfish. Well, I don't know what to say. I'm not afraid of the water, but I'm definitely afraid of someone being drunk on a boat under some substance and running into me. So I will continue to give you guys updates. This is Leilana Bell. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And as always, thank you for your support. For everybody who reached out to me regarding my family, thank you. For everybody who hit my Cash App and said, here's a little something, get a meal with, get some gas. Thank you for being on the scene. Thank you for bringing it to us. Thank you. I appreciate it. I will send that to my family. Recovery is on its way. Thank you. Leilana Bell, like, share, and subscribe.